Welcome back. My name is One Sexy BBW, and this is the video that you guys have been anticipating for: how to freestyle at the bar. If you have not watched my other video, how to create an alter ego, I'm going to link it in the description below. It is a must watch. It is very important, and it's going to kickstart your success in getting a man with money. I am going to teach you the basics of freestyling. Before you sit at the bar, before you get your free drinks, there's some things that you're going to need to do. It's a must, and it's very, very important. You have to pick the place. How are you going to know where to go? And you can't go to just any restaurant like Applebee's and get a 2 for $20. Absolutely not. You are a woman who loves luxury, fine dining, aesthetically pleasing places. You just can't go sit at any bar or any restaurant where there's pictures on the menu and they're singing happy birthday to a couple kids. Absolutely not. You're gonna go where the fine men with money are, with the successful men with money are: attorneys, surgeons, judges, politicians. You will not walk into a fancy restaurant or bar and quickly sit down. No. Once you find a place that you want to go to and you Google it and it says a plate starts at $100, that's where you want to go. You're going to go into that restaurant and bar as if you are the main character. You are the main character. There's nobody as pretty as you. There's nobody as fly as you, successful, intelligent. You are that girl. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I hope you understand that. If you created your alter ego, then you are not going to be at the bar. Your alter ego is going to be at the bar. When I'm freestyling, it's not me. It's One Sexy BBW. And nobody tells her no. Everybody wants her. She gets drinks. They ask for her number. Yeah, that's who's going to be at the bar. Your alter ego. You're going to wear something sexy, seductive. Nothing too trashy, nothing too sleazy. But you're going to wear something sexy. You're going to wear heels. You're going to do your makeup. You're going to do your hair. You're going to put on perfume and lotions and oil and glitter and smell good and look good. So you get to the restaurant and the host is in the front of the restaurant or the bar. And they ask you, would you like a table? Are you dining alone? No, I'm just going to go to the bar. You don't run to the bar. You don't rush to the bar. You don't speed to the bar. You scan the room. The reason why you scan the room is because if you rush to the bar, you might sit next to a couple. You might be sitting next to somebody that doesn't look like they have money. You are a woman that wants someone to take care of you. You are tired of paying bills by yourself. You're tired of living a hard life. You want a soft life. And because of that, you have to choose your right target. You have to pick your right target. Pick your right target. Pick the right man. Pick the right target. Pick the right man. And when you pick the right target, you scan your surroundings. You scan the room. You're looking to see who's indulging in shots, who has a beer in their hand, or who has a Manhattan. That's a drink that's a little more classy, on the rocks or not on the rocks, meaning with ice or without ice. He has a suit on, maybe a button up, and he's looking at the news on the TV behind the bar, or he's just looking around. You want to sit next to him. You want to sit next to him. So you're going to scan the room and you're going to scan the bar before you go towards the bar. Once you get to the bar, you will not talk to him. you will not acknowledge him. If he acknowledges you and says, hello, you say hello back, and you go back and you become the main character once again. You never stop being the main character. If he wants your attention, he has to buy your drink. Now, before he buys your drink, before anything, the waitress behind the bar or the bartender is going to acknowledge you. You will not, and I repeat, not. Excuse me. Hi, I'm ready to order. Don't do that. Don't do that. The main character, they come to you. You don't chase, you attract. And that's in life, in dating, friendships, anything. You do not chase, you attract. So because you scanned a room and you made a dramatic entrance and everybody's probably like, who's that? Because, yeah, they do that. Who's that? The bartender already seen you, okay? So you're going to sit at the bar. You know, hopefully you guys didn't bring a big purse. If you can't get something small like this, I don't need you to get a big purse. I do not want you guys to go freestyle with a big purse or a big bag. Something small that you can place on your lap. Nothing too big, because you do not want them to think that you're going to be buying your own drinks. No. You need it small enough that they be like, oh, she doesn't have any money in her bag. Yeah, I got to take care of her. So you're going to have your purse in your hand and you're going to place it on your lap. Now, the bartender, she's going to approach you now. She's going to ask you questions. She's going to say, excuse me, act like this is the menu, guys. She's going to say, hi, how are you? You look so beautiful. Are you dining in? Are you going to be getting drinks, or are you going to be eating? And you're going to be like, you know what? I just want to do drinks for now. She's going to say, well, let me know if you need anything, our specialties, or this is happy hour, and we have this and this and that. Now, speaking of happy hour, the times that you go freestyle, I would prefer you go from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Do not get to the bar at 8 p.m. because you will only have an hour to freestyle. Try to get there as early as possible because the girls are out. The girlies are out. And they want the same thing you want. They want the same life you want. Okay? So now you have the menu in your hand. You're not going to be like, I want a Long Island iced tea. I want a Long Island iced tea. No. You're not going to say, I want a martini. I want a French 75. I want a lemon drop. No. It sounds as if you're going to buy your own drink. Is that what you want? When you guys freestyle, I really don't want y'all to spend a lot of money. I need you to make them pay for your drinks. And then when they ask for your number, you won't feel as if it's a waste because they actually technically paid for your number. Okay? So now, you at the bar. You're at the bar. You're going to look through the menu and you're going to go, I don't know what I got a taste for. Remember, you do not acknowledge him. If the bartender is waiting for you, you're going to say, what does he have? He's going to probably respond and tell you what he has, or the bartender is going to respond, which will make him respond. And he's going to say, oh, I have a dirty Manhattan. Or I have a Manhattan on the rocks. And you're going to say, is that strong? And he's going to say, because this happens all the time, I know what they say. Do you like strong drinks? It is strong. Do you want to try it? I can get you one. Bartender, can you get her one? And you're going to say, oh, no, I don't think I want that one. That looks too strong. And he's going to say, if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up. Well, get what you want. Ladies and gentlemen, you got that man to buy your first drink. You did not really acknowledge him. You acknowledged his drink. You were talking to the bartender. And he wanted to buy you a drink because he's a gentleman, right? It's just that easy. It's just that easy. When I was younger and I was freestyling, because I didn't know what freestyling was, I was just doing what any young girl does. And I would go to bars and I wanted a guy to pay for my drink. I would go to him and say, wow, that drink looks so good. Does it taste good? And he would say, yeah. And I would say, oh, I never had that drink before. And he would say, oh, I could get you that. I can get you the drink. Bartender, get her the same drink. And I would just drink anything that they gave me. See, I didn't know what freestyling was, and I didn't know. I was just doing what I seen other girls do. And that is not how you freestyle. And that's not how you get your first drink from that man. You do not want to get the drink that he is giving you. You want to say, that drink is not the drink I want, so I want a better one, and I want the one that I want. Obviously, you're not going to say it like that, but you're going to say it the way I told you guys in the example before. Now, when you get your drink, so act like this is a French 75, and you are drinking your French 75, you will not drink like this. Look at my hands. You're not drinking like this, like you're doing confession. You're not going to drink like this, like you're doing confession in church. No. And you're not going to drink like this. No. When you drink, you can either do 3 fingers or 4 fingers. If you feel comfortable doing all, then sure. But you're not going to hold this. You're going to hold the stem. Do you understand? You're going to hold the stem of the cup. You're not holding the rim of the cup. You're holding the stem. Okay? And don't do this either. What is this? So it could be 3, 4, or 5. But as long as it's not here. Now, when you're drinking, you're going to only want to drink on one side. So the red lipstick, well, this doesn't really stain. But if the red lipstick was to stain the glass, it would stain here. You do not want red lipstick, red lipstick, red lipstick, red lipstick, red lipstick staining the whole glass. That looks really messy and it just doesn't look good. It looks tasteless. It looks classless. I don't like it and I don't recommend, okay? And I know a lot of guys probably won't notice, but there's some that will, and you don't want to turn people off. So now when you're drinking your drink and he bought your first drink, you're not going to drink and say, oh my God, thank you so much for the drink. You're the best. How are you? How's everything? How's the kids? Do you have kids? What's your name? No, that's desperate. When you get your drink, you say, oh, that was so sweet. Thank you. And you sip your drink and you have a whole conversation with the bartender. Or you watch the news. Or you pull out one of these from your bag. A notepad and a pen. Okay? A notepad and a pen. As you've seen, I freestyle in this. I freestyle with this book so many times. I like to do a pen that's a little more feminine. It shows that I'm really girly. You don't have to do that. You could just get a regular pen. But me, I'm extra. So I pull this out my purse. So it will be in my purse. And I pull it out my purse. And I'm sipping on the drink that I got for free. So, sipping on my drink. You're not going to slam it. You're going to sip on your drink. And you're going to start writing. So, act like the table's high. You're going to start writing. And you're going to hold the pen by your face. Going to look around. And what would that man say? He's going to say, what are you writing? Because he's not used to buying a woman a drink. And she is still detached. He's not used to that. Men are not used to that. They don't like when we do that. They like when they buy us a drink and we show how thankful we are. You're not going to show that you're thankful. You're not going to show that you're thankful. And oh my God, no guy has ever did this to me before. They have never bought me a drink. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. You're not going to do that. Okay, guys? So you're going to write in your book. He is going to say, so what are you writing? And I need you to be mysterious. I need you to say, what do you want to know? And he's going to know, I do want to know. Well, it's like dark fantasy poetry. I'm really into that. And you're going to go back to writing. And he's gonna say, "Oh, really? What type of poetry? Like, would you like to read the No, you're a stranger. I don't know if I can do that." So this is when you're gonna learn how to flirt, because if you take their drink and you're in their face, it just seems as if you're desperate. You want to stay mysterious. You want to stay spicy, seductive. You want to be that girl. You are the main character. So if you're the main character energy is not looking for attention. The main character gets attention regardless whether she talks, whether she writes in a book, whether she's sipping on her drink, watching the news, talking to the bartender. She's going to get it. You do not chase, you attract. Okay? So from there, he's going to be asking you questions because he wants your attention. And that's when you're going to sip your drink and finish it. And he's going to look down at your drink and he's going to say, "Do you want another one?" If he's a generous man. If he's not, I don't want you to just blow him off, but in a way, just seem uninterested, because why would you have my drink so empty? Don't do what I'm doing, guys, but I'm being dramatic, but it's like, hello, where's the drink? So you're going to sip your drink and you're going to say, "Oh my God, this drink was so good. Thank you again." And he's going to say, "Oh, I can get you another one. Do you want another one?" And that's when you say yes. And from there, you notice this man probably spent $40 on you. $20 drinks, or maybe $25 each. So that's $50 drinks. Or if you went to a very, very expensive restaurant, there's some drinks that are $50. So he spent $100. This is the person that deserves your number. But you're not going to ask for their number, and you're not going to rush the process. Take it easy. Slow down. Let it flow. You don't chase, you attract. Mastering the art of seduction is literally seducing a man to do what you want. So after you said that you're into dark fantasy poetry, he's like, "Ooh, this girl is different." Okay. So now he's going to ask you, "So where are you from?" You're going to tell him. If you don't want to tell him, you tell him, "Oh, I'm from New York." So if a guy asks me where I'm from, I'm going to say, "Oh, I live in the city." If I don't really want him to know I'm from Brooklyn, I'm going to say, "Yeah, I was born and raised in the city." He's going to say, "What part?" "Oh, Manhattan." Your alter ego, you be who you want to be. If you want to say you was born and raised in London and you want to have a fake London accent, a UK accent, that's your business. If you want to say you was born and raised in Jamaica and you have a Jamaican accent, a patois accent, cool. A Jamaican accent, cool. But it's literally who you create. So he's going to try to get so much information out of you. You don't speak the truth at all when you freestyle. That is none of his business. If he wants to get to know you, he needs to pay up. What JT said, pay up. Pay up. Pay up. He needs to pay up. Okay? So now you're going to try to get as much information as him. You're going to try to get some information from him. Figure out what he does for a living. He's going to ask you, you're never going to, if you guys are nurses, you never say you're a nurse. If you guys are doctors, you never say you're a doctor. If you're a lawyer, if you have a career that is, you're making money, I'm going to need you to say that you work part-time places. I need you to say, "Oh, I do here part-time. I'm a CNA part-time." If you're a nurse, you're going to say you're a CNA. If you are an attorney, I'm going to need you to say you're a part-time paralegal. If you are a principal at a school, I'm going to need you to say that you're a para part-time, you're a teacher's assistant part-time. And the reason for that being said is that you don't want to look as if you don't need help. Okay? You're going to always want to look like you need help. Men with money typically don't care what you do because they're going to take care of you regardless. But they just need to know what you do sometimes to see if you have any hobbies. So they might ask you, "What's your hobbies? What's your goals?" Or "What do you do?" And I'm sure they're not going to really ask you this while you're freestyling, but I've freestyled a bit and some men did ask. So now you're going to ask them what they do. You're going to pry into their business and you're going to ask them what they do. They're going to tell you. And from there, you can Google it later on to see how much that money is looking like. how much he's making, but slow down. So now you guys are having a great conversation. He hands you his business card. Do you take the business card? No. You guys are having a good conversation, and he says, take down my number. Do you take down his number? No. When you want a man to chase you and pursue you, he needs to take down your number. If he was to take down their number, their business card, you would be in the chasing position. And honestly, that never really works out well. It doesn't. Because if you call them and they don't remember who you are, they might hang up in your face, or you just never know. So you're not going to give your number so easy, though. Even though they bought you 2 drinks, you're not going to say, oh, here's my number when they ask for it. No. Or if they don't ask for it and they say, here's my number, you're going to say, I'd rather give you my number. I'd rather give you my number. Okay. But wait. If I give you my number, what are you going to do with it? He's going to say, oh, I'm going to call. I'm going to call. Okay. Because I typically don't give my number out. Always say stuff like this. Make it seem like you don't give your number out. Make it seem as if don't waste my time, because if I give you my number, don't waste my time. So by you being direct like that, they're looking at you like, oh, she mean business. Okay. And they will call you. And if they don't, who cares? You got 2 free drinks. You got 2 free drinks at the bar. Sometimes when you freestyle, you might get appetizers. They'll ask you if you're hungry. Do you want a meal? I've gotten steak. I've gotten lobster. I've gotten drinks. It's a whole vibe. That's why freestyling is so fun. And I really cannot wait for you guys to do it and have a lot of fun and meet a man with a lot of money and just tell me your success stories, okay? So, let's recap. When you freestyle, you don't chase, you attract. You don't drink from the glass like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. You are a lady. You either can do 4 fingers, 5 fingers, 3 fingers. When you sip from the glass, you don't stain the whole glass. You stain one part of the glass. You don't rush to give your number. You don't try to get attention from him. You live in the moment and you enjoy your night, and you are the main character. Don't ever forget that. Always remain the main character. Freestyling is an art, and I do not expect y'all to ace it the first time you do it. But if you go and freestyle Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., and you are consistent, and you do it at least 3 to 4 times a week, you will get the man that you're looking for. You get the man that has the money, that's going to pay your bills. He's going to give you allowance. He's going to buy you a car. He's going to make you live a great life. You're going to go to nice restaurants. You're going to go places. You're going to go shopping. You're going to take trips. I am dating a millionaire right now because I went freestyling at the bar a month ago. I have been on 6 dates.
So sexy. Oh my God, the way you...
He has spent a lot of money on me. And I'm a plus size woman. I do believe if I can do it, baby, you can do it too. Please don't ever forget you are the main character. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, like, so that I could keep uploading content about how to get a man with money.